So a second Canadian province is about to introduce a so-called parental rights law. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith teased this weekend on her call-in radio show that parental rights legislation, likely some sort of law that will require that schools disclose to parents if a kid changes their name or pronouns, is on the way in her province.
We've been having a lot of conversations about this as a caucus, and we've consulted very broadly about it. And so we'll be releasing policy on this next week. And I'm really hopeful that we can depoliticize the discussion and be thinking about the kids who are listening to us as adults, talking about these issues that are impacting them, and make sure that we get the right balance.
And once it's introduced, that'll make Alberta the second province after Saskatchewan to formally introduce a parental rights law. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe memorably used the notwithstanding clause to force through his parental rights law last year, after it faced legal challenges. Saskatchewan's policy has faced huge backlash from LGBTQ2S+ folks and allies because these laws put vulnerable trans kids at risk and can end up censoring education on queer and trans topics. That's all to say it's so interesting that Smith frames Alberta introducing a parental rights policy as, quote, depoliticizing the issue. Because introducing legislation like this is actively politicizing the issue. These policies are explicitly political. And let's be clear, there's not some groundswell of need from the public for these policies and laws. In fact, in Saskatchewan, Moe only received 18 letters over the summer asking for this policy. And in New Brunswick, where a previous policy protecting trans kids in schools was rolled back, a Freedom of Information request filed by a University of New Brunswick professor found that the province had received not a single written complaint from parents claiming they were not told about changes in their child's name or pronouns. And Federal Conservative Party of Canada leader Pierre Poilievre has also turned parental rights into a talking point, despite school policy not being federal jurisdiction, as he campaigns ahead of the next federal election. Essentially because it's a political talking point pushed by party membership. And the introduction of an Alberta parental rights law is Smith making good on a resolution overwhelmingly passed at her recent United Conservative Party convention, where party members voted to introduce a pronoun policy of some sort. And as we pointed out in a video following the convention, it's Smith's far-right base that's actually pushing for this sort of legislation in Alberta, not a majority of concerned parents in the province. All of this is political. But it's politics that will have real tangible effects on trans kids' lives. And it's spreading. This isn't just a Saskatchewan problem or even a Prairies problem. This is something we have to be vigilant about across Canada in the weeks and months ahead because it's not going away.